Hello, and welcome to this week's Soul Service. So, as you might have noticed, I am not live as I normally am on a Sunday. Unfortunately, this weekend I am not available to be live, so I have pre-recorded the same service that you are used to. We have some interesting things to talk about this week, so let's get straight into it. So, for those of you who are here for the first time, watching a soul service. This is a service that is run every single Sunday. I alternate between a morning and an evening service to accommodate people from all over the world so that everybody gets a chance to participate. And we start off with a bit of an opening prayer, just setting the intentions for the service. We then go into a healing prayer where we send healing out to anybody and everybody who is in need of healing. You get to participate and engage in that process. Then we go into the astrology segment for the week, where we look at one astrological event that is happening for the week ahead, and I explain what it means and how it's going to impact on us collectively. And we also then do horoscopes for each sign of the zodiac. Directly after that, we go straight into the reflection for the week. So the reflection is something that I have received from Spirit to share with you. So whether it be a lesson, a teaching, an understanding, whatever it might be, is what we cover in the reflection. And then we end the service off with a closing prayer as well. So settle in, get comfy, and let's get straight into it. We're going to start off with our opening prayer. So I invite you now to take a moment to settle into the space right here, wherever you are. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable to do so, and just allow the natural rhythm of your breath to guide you in this sacred moment. Today, friends, as we gather as one from all corners of the world, united in the intention of finding stillness amidst the noise of life. In the sacred space, we invite the gentle energy of calm to surround and to fill us, quietening the mind, soothing the heart, and grounding the spirit. May the breath be the anchor, reminding us that even in our busiest moments, there is always a place of peace within us, waiting to be found. As we release the weight of today's challenges and tomorrow's uncertainties, choosing instead to embrace the simplicity of this moment right here, right now. Together, let us hold space for clarity, for serenity, and for balance. May we each leave this gathering feeling lighter, feeling more centered, and feeling deeply connected to the calm that is within us. And so it is. And so it is. We're now going to move on to our healing portion of this service. I encourage you at this point to please do put any names, sorry, wrong button, to put any names that you have into the chat. Names of anybody who you feel are in need of healing at this time. Please do put their names into the chat. If you want to just write them on a piece of paper in front of you, if you want to just hold them in your heart, all of that is absolutely fine. But do bring to mind the names of people, of animals who are in need of healing at this time. And I invite you to join me as we go through this healing right here and right now. So keep those names coming and join me as we do our healing prayer. What I am going to do for the healing prayer is I am going to put a little something on the screen just so that I want you to really just be in the moment and be in the space as we go about the healing. So I don't want you to be, distracted by anything else that's going on. So I'll put something on the screen just as a distraction so that you can really and truly listen to the words that I'm saying and engage and participate in sending the healing to whoever it is that is in need. But in the meantime, do put all the names down in the chat. Keep the names coming. And like I said, if you haven't got the time to put it into the chat, just hold the names in your heart. Just think about the people who you're wanting to send healing to and trust and know that they will receive the healing that is in need. Right, let's get straight into our healing. Here we go. All right, friends, take a deep breath in. And as you exhale it out, I want you to feel yourself gently settling into this moment. You're welcome to close your eyes if you feel called to do so. But otherwise, just allow the natural rhythm of your breath to soften the edges of your day. We call upon the divine presence of love, of light and healing We invite in all the archangels to join us in this sacred space. Archangel Michael, please surround us with your protective light and cut away the cords of fear and doubt. Archangel Raphael, we ask that you pour your emerald green light into every heart, mind, and body that is open to receiving at this time. Archangel Gabriel, please bring clarity and peace to our thoughts and to our words. And Archangel Uriel, please illuminate our path to inner calm and understanding. We also welcome in the loving presence of angels, guides, and all the ascended masters who wish to assist us here today. As we hold the space together, we extend healing energy to every name that has been written in the healing lists, those that have been typed into the chat, or those that have been spoken in silence from the hearts and the minds of everybody here today. I want you all to imagine a brilliant, shimmering light encircling all of these names, all of these animals and people and situations that have been mentioned here today. See this brilliant, shimmering light encircling all of those mentioned. I invite you now to take a moment to feel your own heart. I want you to picture a soft, radiant light that is glowing within you. And with each breath that you take, allow that light to grow brighter and brighter. Allow this light to fill you with warmth and to fill you with peace. Feel this light soothing any tension, releasing any worries, and creating a deep sense of calm within you. Now I invite you to extend this light outward. So from your heart space, it is filled within your entire being. And I now want you to imagine it flowing from your heart, weaving out into the world, into the collective energy of everybody here today. I want you to see this glowing, beautiful light. I want you to see it traveling far and wide, touching each soul and each situation and each animal that is in need of healing right now. Breathe deeply as you give and receive this loving energy, knowing that as you send out this light, that you are also being replenished at the same time, that you are being filled with peace, with strength, and with balance. You're sending out this healing energy from your heart space to the heart space of every other person, being, and animal on this planet. Repeat after me. I am a vessel of healing and peace. As I send love and calmness into the world, I open my heart to receive the same. May all beings find solace, strength, and serenity. And so it is. I invite you now to take another deep breath in. And as you exhale, I want you to gently bring your awareness back to this moment. Know that the work that we have done here today, that it ripples far beyond what we can see. And it's important that you trust the energy of healing will continue to flow wherever it is needed most. And so it is. And so it is. Always so nice to send healing out to anybody who is in need, knowing that we are also healed in that same process. So friends, we now move on to our astrology segment of today's service. And what we have to discuss today is quite an interesting one. So it's almost a continuation of a topic from a couple of weeks ago, because today I want to talk about the partial solar eclipse that is going to be happening on the 29th of March. So I know the day today is the 23rd of March, the 29th of March is a whole week away, but the energies of solar eclipses do start quite a bit earlier and they do extend. So, and the fact that it is happening in this next week, which is why I want to focus on it. So we're looking at the partial solar eclipse that is happening in the sign of Aries on the 29th of March. Now, we had a full lunar eclipse a couple of weeks ago, and now we have a partial solar eclipse. Generally speaking, well, the first thing I want to do is I want to talk about the differences between a typical standard new moon and a solar eclipse. So when we had the lunar eclipse, it was a full moon. Now we have a solar eclipse, it's a new moon. So I want to talk about what are the differences, because we have a new moon and a full moon every 28 days. You know, it's the cycle of the moon. It goes around and around and around. We're always having these cycles. So what is the difference between a normal moon cycle and an actual solar and an eclipse? Okay, so that's what I want to talk about first. So we're talking about a new moon, all right, because that's what we have on the 29th of March is a new moon. So let's talk about the definition of a new moon. So a new moon occurs when the moon is positioned between the earth and the sun, and its illuminated side is facing away from the earth. So the moon appears invisible, or otherwise you just see that very faint outline of it, okay? So a new moon represents a fresh start. It represents a time for setting intentions, almost like it's a blank canvas, okay? So like you have this blank sheet of paper and you get to decide what you're going to be putting on it. A new moon is also a quieter personal energy that encourages introspection. It encourages planting seeds for the future. New moon energy will affect individuals differently. Some people will feel it a lot and some people will feel it not so much. But it basically, it aligns with the themes of the zodiac sign that the new moon occurs in. So now we talk about a solar eclipse. So what is an actual solar eclipse? So a solar eclipse occurs during a new moon, okay? But the crucial difference is that the sun, the moon, and the earth align perfectly or near perfectly, causing the moon to literally block out the sun's light, either partially or fully. Whereas on a normal new moon, we're not blocking the light. It's just we don't see it because it's being illuminated. So a solar eclipse amplifies the energy of a new moon a lot. So this makes it a time of really, really significant change. It makes it a time of huge revelations, and it makes it a time of realignment. The solar eclipse acts as a cosmic reset button, okay, often bringing sudden shifts, sudden endings, and also sudden beginnings to us. The solar eclipse encourages us to release what no longer serves us and allows us to step into new opportunities. Solar eclipses generally only occur a few times a year, okay? And we generally refer to them as eclipse season, because if you have a lunar eclipse, you're going to have a solar eclipse, all right? And this one we're having right now is this solar eclipse that we're having now is happening in the sign of Aries, and that won't happen again for another 18, 19 years. So even though we have eclipses a few times a year, they only happen in their signs, in those particular signs, every few years, okay, every 18 to 19 years. So a solar eclipse generally has a much more profound and a much far-reaching effect compared to just the standard new moon that we have every 28 days. So the energetic impact can last for 6 months or more, making it a pivotal period in a person's life. The effects are not only individually, but they do have an impact on the collective as well, depending on its visibility and the chart points that it activates. So you actually get an astrological map of the world, and it shows you where the solar eclipse will be happening. So obviously those countries that are directly in that path, they will be impacted more by the energies of the solar eclipse than those countries where it's far from it. Okay. So a normal new moon, as I said, is like planting seeds quietly in your garden, nurturing your own personal growth, setting your intentions for the month ahead. A solar eclipse, on the other hand, is like a powerful storm that comes through and clears out old growth to make way for new life. Think of a solar eclipse as quite a dramatic reset, okay, that can shift your life in unexpected and transformative ways. While both are opportunities for new beginnings, eclipses generally demand a greater awareness and they invite significant change. Okay, so this particular solar eclipse, as I said to you, is happening in the sign of Aries. So Aries, as we know, is the first sign of the zodiac. It is ruled by the planet Mars, and it embodies themes of courage, individuality, and action. So this particular eclipse is going to signify a powerful moment to assess personal goals, to embrace independence, and to take bold steps towards a new chapter in your own life. It's going to highlight the importance of self-empowerment and living authentically. Okay, so the best way to work with this particular solar eclipse is to set your intentions, recognizing again that Aries is a trailblazer. Reflect on areas in your life where you want to take initiative. Write it down, write down clear, actionable goals and steps as to how you're going to do it. How are you going to trailblaze? What areas of your life need a little bit of trailblazing, and how are you going to go about doing that? This energy is also going to encourage us to step into our power and to make decisions that align with our true self. We need to avoid waiting for others to be the leader. We need to avoid waiting for others to say, all right, come along now. We need to be the change that we want to see in the world. All right. Eclipses are a time of change. That is absolutely, there's no doubt about that. But we also need to let go of fears, and we need to learn how to trust our own instincts moving forward. Aries is what we call a fire sign. So the focus is on activities that energize and inspire. Candle rituals, journaling, and meditation can honestly and truly help you to connect with your inner drive. There are a few things, though, with this eclipse happening in the sign of Aries, there are a few things that we do need to be mindful of. And the first thing is impulsiveness. Because Aries, fiery energy, can push us towards making rash decisions that we may regret at a later stage. So make sure that you take a moment to consider the consequences of everything that you're doing before you actually do it. We also need to be mindful of conflict and aggression that may come up, because Mars, who is the ruler of Aries, may heighten emotions. So we need to all practice patience. We need to respond thoughtfully, and especially in tense situations. The last thing I want to say that we need to be mindful of with this particular solar eclipse is the fact that Aries is very enthusiastic, right? Aries are extra. But being extra, being extra means that there is the likelihood of overdoing it. So we need to make sure that we're balancing the action of what we're doing. We're balancing it with rest in order to bring balance to our energy fields. So what I'm saying to you here, now you might be thinking to yourself, well, who will be affected? Who will most be affected by this particular listen to me, solar eclipse that is happening in the sign of Aries? Well, first of all, Aries, okay? So if you have an Aries anything in your chart, it's going to affect you. Libra, Cancer, and Capricorn, you guys are all the ones who are going to be mostly affected by this particular solar eclipse. Why? Because you are all the cardinal signs, okay? So cardinal signs will feel the eclipse energy the most because you are directly involved with initiating change and initiating growth. Aries in particular, for you guys, it's going to be a huge personal test. Anybody who has strong Aries placements in your astrology chart, in your natal chart, so if you have sun, moon, or ascendant in Aries, this eclipse is going to directly align with your chart, and therefore it's going to bring powerful opportunities for reinvention. And anybody who might be going through any other kind of major transit. So again, look at your natal chart, have your natal chart read by somebody, because if this eclipse activates a key planet or an angle in your chart, again, this is an area that is going to shift in a big way in your life. So now I want to just go through a bit of a horoscope. So I'm going to start at Aries, I'm going to go all the way through to Pisces, and I'm just going to give you a little bit of information as to how to work with this eclipse energy easily, all right? How to navigate this eclipse energy. So Aries, for you guys, this is your moment to shine, Aries. I said this to you last week as well. The eclipse is in your sign, and it marks a personal reset, urging you to boldly redefine your goals and to redefine your priorities. Take charge of your future by focusing on what truly excites and empowers you. Don't hold back, Aries. This is your time to lead with courage and with confidence. Taurus, for you guys, This eclipse is going to nudge you towards spiritual growth and inner healing. So it's important that you step away from the hustle and to reflect on your dreams and your subconscious patterns. This is the perfect time for you to release your fears and to embrace self-compassion. Listen to your intuition because it does have valuable guidance for you on your path forward. Gemini, your social circle and your aspirations are going to take center stage. This eclipse asks you to re-evaluate your friendships and your long-term goals. So align yourself with people who inspire and uplift you, and collaborative projects or group efforts could also bring exciting opportunities for growth. For our Cancerians, this eclipse is going to light up your career. So I invite you to step into the spotlight in a professional manner. Reflect on your ambitions and take bold steps towards your goals. Opportunities for leadership or recognition may even come up for you. Don't let self-doubt hold you back. Leo, for you, it's all about adventure and personal growth. This eclipse is going to inspire you to expand your horizons through travel, through learning, and through exploring new philosophies. So open yourself up to new experiences that challenge your perspective and fuel your creative fire. Virgo, transformation is key. This eclipse is going to highlight deep emotional and shared resources, deep emotional healing and shared resources. So take the opportunity to release any old baggage that you may be carrying, strengthen your intimate connections, and financial planning and investments could also take a significant turn at this time. Trust the process, okay? Libra, for you guys, it's all about partnerships. This eclipse is going to encourage you to assess the balance in your relationships, whether it be your romantic relationships or your professional relationships. You need to be honest, Libra, about your needs and set healthy boundaries. A new relationship or even a deepening of an existing relationship could be on the horizon for you. Scorpio, for you guys, your daily routines, your well-being are absolutely what is going to be highlighted by this eclipse. So this eclipse is a good time for you to revamp your habits, to prioritize your health, and to streamline your work life. Let go of anything that drains your energy and embrace practices that nourish your body, mind, and soul. Sag, creative and self-expression are taking center stage. This eclipse is going to energize your desire for joy and passion. So dive into projects or hobbies that light you up, that just fuel your soul. Romance or a playful new endeavor could bring unexpected delight. So trust your instincts and follow your heart. Capricorn, for you guys, this eclipse is going to invite you to focus on home and family once again. So reflect on your roots and create a foundation that supports your growth. This is a powerful time to strengthen bonds with loved ones and to make changes to your living environment that foster harmony and security. And Aquarius, for you, your communication skills, this eclipse is going to encourage you to share your ideas, to network a little bit more, and to start new projects that involve possibly writing or even speaking. Be mindful of how you express yourself because your words have the power to inspire change. And last but never least, Pisces. So Pisces, the eclipse brings opportunities for you to reevaluate your finances and your self-worth. Focus on building stability and embracing abundance in your life. Let go of any limiting beliefs that you are carrying about money and recognize your unique talents that are your greatest assets, your greatest assets. So friends, that's the astrology for the week ahead. I do hope that that is interesting and helpful for you, and I hope that it navigates you through the week ahead. And now it's time for this week's reflection. This week's reflection. So, this week I am talking about the courage to be yourself, embracing authenticity and self-acceptance. This is something that I find a lot of people are struggling with at the moment, which is why it's been coming up for me over and over and over again. And eventually I sat down and I said to Spirit, right, is this the topic? Is this what needs to be shared, what needs to be discussed? And it was a very clear, very evident yes, the courage to be yourself, living authentically and self-acceptance. So I'm going to start with a question. When was the last time, and I want you to really think about this, okay? When was the last time you felt truly, unapologetically yourself? When? Like, think about it. When was the last time that you actually felt like you were being true to yourself? Not the version of you that fits into other people's expectations. No, 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 that's not what we're talking about. Not the version of you that avoids conflict, not the version of you that seeks approval, but the version of you that's raw, that's real, and that's honest. When last did you actually allow that person to shine? And I am almost convinced that most of you listening to me, probably all of you listening to me here now, that you can't think, you can't remember a time when you were truly, truly yourself. So today, this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about the courage to be yourself. This is a phrase that we often hear. This is a phrase that we might even often say to other people, but what does it actually mean? And more importantly, why is it so important? Okay, so what does it mean to be your true self? So being yourself is about embracing your uniqueness, because every single one of us are completely unique. Every single one of us is, we have different talents, we have different skills, we have different whatever. Each one of us has something unique about us. Our quirks, our values, our truth, all of that is all completely and utterly unique. It's about showing up in life authentically, is what it means, okay? Without masks and without pretense. It's about honoring who you are at your core and living in alignment with that truth of who you truly are. So, lost my place. So, one thing I want to just be clear about, okay? So let's just recap for a second. One thing I want to be clear about when we talk about what does it mean to be your true self? What does it mean to be truly authentic? It's about really recognizing how different you are from everybody else, recognizing how you stand apart from everybody else, that your uniqueness, your quirks, your values, the things that you enjoy, the things that you don't enjoy, it's all of these things that make who you are in your entirety. And that's what makes you special. That's what makes you beautiful. And we're so in the habit of hiding and pretending and putting on false illusions, and it's not serving us any purpose. So what is important now is that we do learn how to stand in our truth. But I want to just also mention, what does it not mean? Okay, so when we talk about be your true authentic self, we've identified what it means, but now let's talk about what it does not mean. Okay, so it does not mean, it does not mean being arrogant, and it does not mean being dismissive of others. It's not about forcing your opinions or forcing your behaviors or anything like that onto somebody else without caring for their feelings. That's not what it's about. It also does not mean stagnation. Okay, so being authentic doesn't mean refusing to grow or refusing to improve. In fact, it's the opposite. Because when you are being authentic with yourself, about yourself, for yourself, you are more willing to embrace change because you're actually grounded in your true core. So, the challenges of authenticity, though, like why is it so difficult for all of us, for you and me and for everybody? Why is it so difficult for us to be authentic? Because it takes courage to stand in our truth when the world often puts pressure on us to conform. That's the truth, right? In a nutshell, that is the truth. It's difficult for us to stand in our truth because the world is putting pressure on us to be a certain way, to act a certain way, to want a certain thing, to feel a certain thing. We live in a society that loves labels. We live in a society that truly, truly loves labels, stereotypes, and boxes. Must check all the boxes, must fit into all the boxes. It's easier for people to understand you if you fit into their perceived notions. But being authentic means resisting those boxes and saying, this is who I am, take it or leave it. Not in an arrogant way, not in an aggressive, assertive way, but just from a place of, I respect that you're different to me. I respect that you want, like, need different to me, and that's okay, but this is who I am. Take it or leave it. And I know this is like hugely scary. I mean, I can just feel all of you going, I can't do that, I can't do that, I can't do that. What are we afraid of? Well, we're afraid of rejection. We're afraid of people rejecting us when we stand in our truth. We're afraid of failing. And I don't think it's possible to fail if you're standing in your truth, but it is a fear that we have, which is why we don't stand in our truth. And also, we have this kind of thought in our head of what happens if I'm not enough? What happens if who I am isn't enough? So, this is why we're constantly striving and trying and pretending to be somebody we're not. I want to share something with you. Okay. So, all of these fears, the fear of rejection, the fear of failure, the fear of not being enough, these fears are real. Like, there's no doubt about it. You and I, we all have them. But I want to share a little secret with you. The people who matter, they will love and respect you for being authentic. The rest of them, they were never your people anyway. Truth. Okay. The people who matter will love and respect you for being your true authentic self. Everybody else, they were never your people, so their opinion really doesn't matter. Let's talk about the benefits of being truly authentic you. So when you have the courage to be yourself, it's almost like you unlock a life of freedom, a life of connection, and a life of huge impact. So I want to break these three key thoughts down. Freedom. So pretending to be somebody you're not is absolutely exhausting. It's like wearing a mask all day long. When you are authentic, you are free to just be. There's no second guessing. There's no people pleasing. There's no performing. There's just freedom. Connection. So when you're authentic, you generally tend to attract people who resonate with who you truly are. Okay? These relationships are generally deeper, they're more meaningful, and they are more fulfilling for you. There is no need to wonder if they like the real you, because they've already seen the real you. So you don't ever have to worry about, oh, in the future I have to keep this up because otherwise they're not going to like me. You've shown them who you are and they love you for who you are, and it's fantastic. So your connections with other people is just so much deeper instantly when you are truly yourself. When you are authentic, this is my third point. When you are authentic, you give others permission to do the same, because we're all sheep, right? I'm not going to do something until I see you do it. And when I see you do it and I see it's okay, then I feel confident to go ahead and do it. So when you are more authentic, you're basically giving everybody else around you permission to do the same. So think about the people who inspire you the most. Are they the ones who blend in, or are they the ones who stand out? By being yourself, you're teaching others that it is safe to be themselves as well. So basically, you're creating a ripple effect of positive change in this world, of positive courage in this world. I need to go back to this whole arrogance thing, right? Because it is so important to distinguish courage from arrogance. They're so similar and they're so close, and yet they're not. Courage says, this is who I am and I respect who you are. That is courage. Arrogance says, this is who I am and I'm better than you. There's the difference. Courage says, this is who I am and I respect who you are. And arrogance says, this is who I am and I know I'm better than you. So authenticity is about being humble. It acknowledges that we are all works in progress, because none of us are perfect. No matter what we think, we're not perfect. We've got a lot of improving to do. So authenticity is about being humble in that. It's about acknowledging that we are all works in progress. It's about being honest, not being superior. When you stand in your truth, you are not trying to outshine somebody else. You're simply letting your light shine. Okay, so if you're wondering how to start being authentic, I'm going to give you a few practical steps. The first step, probably the most important step, is to get to know yourself. So spend time reflecting on your values, your passions, and your boundaries. So who are you when nobody else is watching? Consider using a journal to write down your thoughts or to meditate in order to reconnect with your inner self on a daily basis. So step number 1, get to know yourself. Step number 2, you need to practice daily check-ins. So take a few moments each day to ask yourself, am I being true to who I am today? Use mindfulness techniques like breathing. You can use quick reflection exercises. Think about a decision you made or an interaction that you had, and then evaluate it to see if you aligned with your true self. So just every now and again throughout the day, just check in. Okay, oh, you know what? I just did that. Was I truly authentic? Did I do something that aligned with my true self? And if you didn't, don't beat yourself up. Don't get aggressive with yourself. Just say, okay, I recognize I didn't. I should have done this, that, and the next thing. And next time you will be better. Number 3, and this is something, if you've been following me for any amount of time, this is something you've heard me say many times before. Create a gratitude and a truth journal. So at the end of each day, Jot down 3 things that you are grateful for and one moment where you felt most aligned with your true self. If you can identify these moments where you were not authentic, writing down what you could do different next time. So that is something that I do. This is my journal here. This is my gratitude journal, okay? And I write a highlight of the day and a gratitude in this every single day. I never fail. I've got all my months there. And, what it does is it just shifts the mind into start thinking about the good, the possible, the happy, the joyous, as opposed to the doom and the gloom and the grumpy. So the fourth thing that you can do to live more authentically is to say no. To say no. Authenticity means honoring your limits. Saying no when something doesn't align with your truth is a powerful act of self-respect. Powerful act of self-respect. Practice saying no with kindness and with clarity. So, for example, you could say, "Thank you for thinking of me, but I'm not able to commit to that right now." How can anybody be cross with you when you say it that way? Or another example, "I appreciate the opportunity, but it's not the right fit for me." So you're not rejecting them. You are, but you're not rejecting them. You're not saying that, it's simple, it's clear, it's easy. It's easy. So simple, respectful phrases like these will make it easier for you to set boundaries without feeling the guilt that goes along with it. This is about honoring your limits. Saying no when something doesn't align with your truth is a powerful act of self-respect. The other thing that we can do is to let go of perfection. You don't have to be perfect to be authentic. That's a big statement, hey? You don't have to be perfect to be authentic. In fact, it's your imperfections that make you relatable and human. So please remind yourself that growth comes from embracing your flaws, not from hiding them. All right, so being authentic is just really a new way of thinking, a new way of reacting and responding, a new way of being. I want you to imagine what the world would look like if more people had the courage to be their true selves. Less judgment, more connection, less fear, and more love. That's the way that I see it. When you are truly authentic, you're not just living your truth, you're inspiring others to find theirs. You're showing your children, you're showing your friends, you're showing your community that it's okay to be imperfect. It's okay to be vulnerable, and that it's okay to be real. I don't see anything wrong with any of that. I really don't. So, the world doesn't need more perfect people. It really doesn't. The world needs people, needs more people who are willing to show up as themselves. That is where the true magic happens. That is where we connect. That is where we grow, and that is where we thrive. So I challenge you, friends. I challenge you. When you leave soul service today, I want you to ask yourself, what would it look like to live one step closer to being my true, authentic self? And then I want you to take that step. It doesn't have to be a big step. Courage is built one moment and one choice at a time. So thank you for listening. Thank you for taking it all in. Thank you for allowing me to share this moment with you. And thank you for taking the courage to simply be you. Let's make the world a better place for exactly that. For exactly that. Right, so reflection is done. As always, I like to give gratitude to everybody who is here, everybody who watches my videos, everybody who comes along to soul service every single Sunday. Thank you. I'm sorry I couldn't be with you today. I really am. I'm sorry that I'm not here in person. I'm here in spirit. That's for sure. I'm certainly here in spirit with each one of you. But thank you for your love and support. Thank you for rocking up and being with me every single Sunday. Next week will be an evening service, so you can certainly look forward to that, and that will be on the 29th of March, I think it is, will be an evening service. And as always, I want to give so much love and gratitude to my channel members. So these are people who pay a monthly subscription here on YouTube to show gratitude and appreciation for me and for what I do. And for this, they get all sorts of fabulous little bits and pieces from me, including free readings, including meditation, including all sorts of fabulous things. So thank you, thank you, thank you to each one of them. I am so honored by their love and respect, and for each one of you as well. So join me as we close our service off. It's a short one this week. I do apologize for that, but it is what it is. So join me, friends, as we close in gratitude and we close in prayer. So let us come together now in gratitude, reflecting on the insights and the experiences that we have shared. Divine Spirit, source of light and source of truth, we thank you for guiding us through this time of reflection and this time of connection. In the sacred space, we have explored the depths of our values and the essences of who we truly are. May we carry forward the wisdom to recognize the values that define us, those principles that bring meaning, joy, and authenticity to our lives. Help us to honor these values in our thoughts, our words, and our actions, even when the world around us pulls us in different directions. Grant us the courage to stand firm in our truth, the compassion to respect the values of others, and the clarity to discern when we are living in alignment with our hearts. As we leave this gathering, may we feel strengthened by the light within us, knowing that our values are a compass that are guiding us towards a life of fulfillment and a life of peace. Let this healing energy that we have shared here today, let this healing energy continue to flow, touching all those in need and nurturing the harmony that we seek within ourselves and within the world. May we close with a deep breath, inhaling hope and exhaling gratitude. May we move forward with open hearts, with steady minds and unwavering faith in the power of living authentically. And so it is. And so it is. Friends, thank you for your love and support. Thank you for being here even when I am not. I so look forward to connecting with you all again next week. Take care and blessings to one and all.